everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is a wild Wednesday, and we are absolutely buzzing after today's episode. Grab your favorite snack and get comfortable, because we have a massive amount of drama to unpack today. The tension in Genoa City is off the charts right now, and we need to talk about it immediately. I cannot even begin to process what we just watched. I am literally sitting here vibrating with anxiety because the stakes have absolutely never been higher. Did you guys see what Diane just pulled off? Because if you missed it, you missed one of the greatest psychological pivots in the history of this show. I have been watching this soap religiously since 2015, and I have seen my fair share of hostage situations, kidnappings, and crazy villains. But the absolute suffocating tension of Diane being trapped in that remote house with Dr. Lawrence Markham is taking years off my life. I mean, we all know Diane Jenkins Abbott is a survivor. We know she is cunning. But the sheer brilliance she displayed today is next level, and I am so here for it. Let's just jump right into the madness at Dr. Markham's house. Diane is completely isolated, locked in this creepy place with a man who is actively trying to gaslight her into believing she has lost her mind. And what does she do the second he leaves the house? She starts snooping. I was screaming at my screen. You know that feeling when you are watching a thriller and the main character goes into the dark basement? That was me. I was yelling, "Diane, what are you doing? He is going to come back and catch you." But she is desperately rifling through his belongings, pulling open drawers, looking for absolutely anything she can use to escape. And then, boom, she finds it, a smartphone sitting right there in one of the drawers. A literal lifeline to the outside world, a way to call Jack or Kyle or the police. My heart leapt into my throat, but of course IT is locked. I swear the writers do this just to torture us. She is sitting there holding this phone, staring at the passcode screen, probably praying that Markham is basic enough to use 1230 for or. The panic on her face was so real. You can feel her desperation as she realizes she has the tool to save herself, but she can't access it. Suddenly, you hear the door. Markham is back. I actually stopped breathing. I thought for sure she was going to get caught red-handed. I thought he was going to snap and use those terrifying other methods he was threatening her with yesterday. But Diane does not freeze. She does not crumble. She hides that phone so incredibly fast you would think it was a magic trick. She secures her lifeline and then does the most brilliant thing I have ever seen a hostage do on this show. She completely flips the script. Instead of acting terrified, defiant, or angry like she has been for days, she fakes a massive psychological breakthrough. I mean, give Susan Walters an Emmy right now because her performance was flawless. She comes out of the room having changed her clothes, looking all put together, and she slaps on this fake, serene smile that is so convincing I almost believed it myself. She acts like the clouds have parted and she has finally seen the light. She tells Markham that she accepts she needs psychological help. I can't believe how easily she played him. She starts buttering him up, singing his praises, telling him how much incredible progress she is making under his brilliant, unparalleled care. It is an absolute masterclass in stroking a fragile male ego. Markham is standing there, probably thinking he is the greatest psychiatrist to ever walk the earth, completely oblivious to the fact that Diane is playing him like a cheap fiddle. She knows exactly what this arrogant creep wants to hear, and she feeds it to him with a silver spoon. But here is the real kicker. Here is where Diane proves she is playing for D-chess while Markham is playing checkers. She tells him that clinical environments give her massive panic attacks. She acts all vulnerable and fragile, claiming that the mere thought of going to a real hospital or the new clinic he keeps pushing just triggers her anxieties so badly. So what does she do? She begs him to let her stay right there at his private house. She insists that his personal, one-on-one supervision is the only thing that is working for her recovery. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's really think about why this is such a genius move. If Markham transfers her to Patty Williams' clinic, Diane is totally screwed. She will be surrounded by Patty's goons, locked in a padded room, and probably heavily medicated until she actually does lose her mind. But if she stays at the house, it is just her and Markham. And she has his locked phone hidden away. She just needs time to figure out the passcode or wait for an emergency notification to pop up so she can make a call. She is buying herself time, keeping herself out of Patty's direct clutches, and it is absolutely brilliant. And Markham actually falls for it. He tries to play hard to get, reminding her that this is his private residence and not a facility. But you can see the absolute pride swelling in his chest. He loves that she is dependent on him. He loves that she is begging to stay in his care. So he agrees to consider her request. Consider it. He is totally going to let her stay. Diane Jenkins Abbott, you are an absolute legend. I know some fans are still holding onto her past crimes and hate her guts, but personally, you have to respect the hustle. Remember when she faked her own death back in 2011? Yeah, I know I wasn't watching the show back then, but I have read the history and seen the old clips. She orchestrated a fake murder with a literal morgue body to frame Nikki Newman. A woman who can pull off a scheme that massive is not going to be defeated by a second-rate shrink and a locked iPhone. Diane has survived way worse than Dr. Lawrence Markham. She is going to crack that phone, and when she does, all hell is going to break loose. I am so here for the Diane redemption arc, and this survival storyline is proving exactly why she belongs on this show. Okay, back to the point. We have to talk about what is happening back in Genoa City at the Abbott mansion, because my blood pressure is still sky high from that scene. Tracy and Kyle are currently living in my head rent-free because they are acting exactly how I would act in this nightmare scenario. They are furious. Patty Williams is just waltzing around their family home like she owns the place, and Tracy sweet, peacemaking. Lovely Tracy Abbott is ready to throw hands. I have never loved Tracy more. Seeing her get up in Patty's face and show her absolute disgust was everything I needed today. Tracy has been through so much psychological trauma herself recently with that whole Martin Lawrence nightmare, so she can spot a psycho manipulator from a mile away. She knows Patty is toxic, she knows Patty is dangerous, and she is not hiding her hatred for one single second. And Kyle is looking at Patty like he wants to end her existence. He knows his mother is missing, he knows Patty is a lunatic, and he is vibrating with rage. But then Jack walks in and ruins the moment. Jack actually tells Tracy and Kyle to back off and stop complicating things more than necessary. I was literally throwing my throw pillows at the TV. Jack, what are you doing? I yelled at the screen. But then I had to take a deep breath and remind myself of the bigger picture. Jack is playing a part. He has to make Patty believe that he is falling for her again so she will slip up and reveal where Diane is being held. It is so incredibly frustrating to watch because Tracy and Kyle do not fully understand the terrifying tightrope Jack is walking right now. Jack has to pretend to be annoyed with his own son and his own sister to protect his cover. He has to look Patty in the eye and pretend he wants her to be there. The psychological torture Jack is enduring right now is off the charts. He is literally kicking his family out of their ancestral home to play house with the woman who drugged and sexually assaulted him on a yacht. I mean, can we just pause and acknowledge how dark that is? Patty is so deeply delusional that she actually thinks Jack wants this. She thinks she can recreate the magic of that horrific night on the boat. It makes me physically sick to watch her flutter her eyelashes at him and act like they are some star-crossed lovers finally getting their happy ending. Jack is sacrificing his own mental health, his dignity, and his relationship with his family, all to save Diane. If that isn't true love, I don't know what is. Peter Bergman is acting his heart out in these scenes, showing the subtle disgust hiding just beneath Jack's fake smiles. But I am terrified of what happens next. What if Diane unlocks that phone and calls Jack, right at the exact moment Patty is forcing Jack into the bedroom? What if Diane somehow escapes, comes home and finds Jack in bed with Patty, not realizing it is a setup to save her life. Diane is already so insecure about the Patty situation. If she sees them together, she won't listen to reason. It will destroy their marriage all over again. The irony of Jack destroying his marriage in order to save his wife's life is just too much to handle. I know some people are loving this Patty Williams comeback because it brings so much chaotic drama, but personally, I am so stressed out I need a vacation. The stakes have never been higher. Will Diane guess the passcode before Markham realizes the phone is missing? Will Jack be able to hold Patty off without crossing the ultimate line and sleeping with his abuser? Will Tracy and Kyle figure out a way to help from the outside without blowing Jack's cover? I am going to be obsessively refreshing the forums all night waiting for tomorrow's spoilers. This show has me in an absolute chokehold right now, and I definitely need to share this anxiety with people who get it.